Hey there, Truth Seeker. Welcome to our channel and community where we focus on developing the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to expand your conscious awareness. This is Season 2, Episode 10. For those returning, welcome back, and a massive hello to our new subscribers and listeners. We appreciate you. Part 1, Introduction. My name is David Keratin. I am a 13-sign astrologer, indigo warrior, philosopher, and EDM DJ. Feel free to check out our playlist linked below. My partner, Sana, and I will both narrate this fascinating reading. For disclosure, we subscribe to the Astro app platform. To help align with your divine design, we encourage you to acquire a personalized 13-sign natal chart. To do so, click the link in the description. We look forward to hearing from you. Before we go further, what can you expect from today's reading and what is our channel about? The beginning of wisdom is to know thyself. To contribute to this, we explore and interpret the 13-sign astrology system, which includes the constellation of Ophiuchus, re-emerging in the Age of Awakening. Look up at the night sky. The southern part of Ophiuchus is found between Scorpius to the west and Sagittarius to the east, whose motifs are the snake bearer and the golden eagle. Ophiuchus is situated opposite Orion, the home of Saturn, which represents the institutions and structures we master to escape the matrix. Conversely, Ophiuchus symbolizes the restoration of powerful feminine energies subjugated and suppressed via Saturnian systems. This reading covers the new moon occurring Saturday, May 20, 2023 at 3:53 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time, where we are located. For those in the United States, this equates to 11:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Friday, May 19. Our discussion will spotlight the Sun-Moon conjunction in Taurus with the asteroid Sedna, a trans-Neptunian object, or TNO, officially recognized in the astronomical taxonomy in 2003. Sedna is the goddess of the sea and marine life within Inuit mythology, the indigenous people of the Arctic and subarctic regions of Greenland, Labrador, Quebec, Nunavut, the Northwest Territories, and Alaska. Inuit languages are spoken by the Eskimo Aleut communities inhabiting the Aleutian Islands. The earliest positively identified Paleo-Eskimo cultures date to 5,000 years ago. Fascinating, therefore, that the Sedna myth and archetype existed within this indigenous culture long before she was officially included into modern Western astronomy by the space agencies. Part 2, our relationship with the material world. Taurus is the first earth sign in astrology. As such, she represents our resources and physical bodies. Venus, as guardian, reminds us to enjoy our stay on earth, to indulge sometimes, and to surround ourselves with beauty, art, fun, and laughter. Sana and I like to say of the Earth Trilogy, Taurus is the rough diamond, Virgo is where you refine and polish your treasure, and Capricorn is where you take it to market, putting your product on display for the world to see. In simple terms, Taurus is the metaphor representing our individual and collective supply chain, primary industries, mining, and extraction. Everything in the physical world comes from Mother Gaia, who sustains and supports 8 billion people, as well as many other species residing within the vast planetary ecosystem. This includes the water, rivers, lakes, and the atmosphere in and around us. Taurus is where we first encounter the most basic levels of survival: food, shelter, clothing, and fear of missing out, or FOMO. We engage with Taurus via our 5 senses of touch, scent, taste, sight, and sound. So Taurus is when we first correlate feelings with possessions, and a sense of well-being with being nourished, satiated, and safe. Taurus is thus foundational energy. When we feel grounded, we are better prepared for creative expression, work, and relationships. Given where Taurus sits in the 12 astrological houses, this is where we first learn as humans to be selfish, to hoard, and to accumulate. In short, to become entangled in the material world of consumerism and competition. A dysfunctional Taurus archetype leads to instability, stress, anxiety, and distraction. It manifests itself as lack, insecurity, overindulgence, and unbridled desire. For this reason, there is a delicate balance between utilizing what we need, preparing for a rainy day, and not becoming obsessed with the pursuit of more. For those who have forgotten they are spiritual beings having a human experience, Taurus is all there is. And this is where Sedna comes in.
Thank you, David. Part 3. Beyond the Physical Realm. Various versions of the Sedna myth exist. The common ground is that she is worshipped by hunters who depend on her goodwill to supply food. She is also considered the mother of the sea. Some of this iconography will be tied to the traditional Inuit icebound life, in which vegetation is scarce, and caribou or reindeer, seals, walruses, whales, seabirds, and fish were the primary sources of food. Many indigenous communicate via metaphor, legends, and elaborate stories that contain pearls of wisdom passed through generations. The Inuit Sedna adventure is no exception. As archetype, Sedna is complementary to Venus as both oversee resources. Sedna's domain is specifically how we are sustained by sea life, fish, and the like. Yet, there is a deeper element to Sedna, which relates to water and space as metaphors representing consciousness. The descent into the individual and collective unconscious is symbolized by traveling into deep water or deep space, where things are fundamentally unknown. Sedna, the asteroid, resides in the outermost reaches of the solar system, yet as myth, her realm is the deep sea. Scientists speculate that Sedna's existence is evidence of planets orbiting beyond Neptune, which in astrology is considered the outer limits of human spirituality. This is an important perspective, inferring that a vast realm relating to human origins is yet to be examined. As part of the divine feminine lexicon, Sedna was determined to actualize, that is, make her own way. She defied her father's wishes for an arranged marriage, instead focusing on self-determination. The key to unlocking the Sedna influence at this new moon is to recognize her as an archetype representing transcendent function. She is a mandala that facilitates a transition from one psychological state to another. The link between the grounded, concrete world of Venus that can weigh us down and the dreamy energies of Sedna who says, look beyond the here and now. The transcendent function represents a linkage between the real and imagined, or rational and irrational, thus bridging the gulf between consciousness and the unconscious. This happens naturally, spontaneously, and dynamically as we evolve. Sedna reminds us to examine our relationship with goods and services that rely on the sea. Metaphysically, Sedna speaks of integrating a deep sea or deep space mindset into our daily lives so we can amplify our connection with the universal intelligence. Part 4. Summary. As we conclude, let us reflect. The 13-sign astrological system contains puzzle pieces that help us interpret individual and collective experiences. 13-sign astrology is ancient knowledge kept secret to all but the insiders who have used it for themselves. These insights, applied to your life, can have profound impacts on how you perceive and interpret your reason for being. For those of us contemplating and considering what creative contribution we can make as the third density collapses, now is the moment to go inwards, in mindfulness and meditation, to clarify your ideas. We know we are swimming against the tide of popular astrological opinion. However, this is how we develop character, strength, and resilience. Taurus symbolizes resource management in our personal or collective supply chain, if you will. Venus reminds us that it is okay to seek abundance. However, how much is too much? Only you can answer that question. The sun represents our confident self-expression, and the moon our emotional intelligence. Sedna reminds us to go inwards, to identify distortions and addictions that impede our potential. The deep sea and deep space remain largely unknown to humans, yet these are the metaphors for self-discovery and shadow work. Sedna is a key part of the Age of Awakening, signaling the empowered feminine energy needed to bring balance to this planet. Thank you for listening. We look forward to your comments. To support our work, you can buy us a coffee via the link below. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. You may also join us on Telegram or Facebook @DavidKeratin. Namaste. This has been a production of Star Kittens Media. All rights are reserved.